And welcome to the Fashion Icon one more time. And today we have an amazing top model with us today. So welcome, Janelle. Finally got her in. This is one of our pride and joys from the 305, making it all the way up to New York. So it's so happy to see you. So tell me a little bit about your journey as a model.
Well, hi guys, my name is Janelle. I'm 20 years old, about to turn 21 in 2 weeks. So I've been living here in Miami almost my entire life. I was born here, raised here, everything. I never left. And then once I got into high school, I'm so tall and I've heard enough of do you play basketball or do you model? It's either or with that situation. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I should pick it up. So once I was in high school, I started talking to a lot of my fashion friends because they knew a lot about when the designers were having open castings and things of that sort. I started taking my digitals, my composite cards, and from there, it really took off. I started doing productions in New York Fashion Week. I've done LA Fashion Week. I've done Miami Swim Week a couple of times, and I've done Miami Art Basel. So it went pretty well in that direction, thank God.
So what inspired you to get into modeling?
Really meeting different creatives and finding their vision and helping them put that together, because it is the most entertaining, the most valuable thing you will find out of this career is meeting other creative minds who have these brilliant ideas and want to bring you to bring that to life. And it's probably the most enjoyable part of the job.
You're collaborating and making their visions come true.
Yes.
Okay, how did you get into modeling? What were your first steps like to get into the world of modeling?
Yeah, so I started looking online a lot because I didn't have a lot of model friends. I really didn't know what to do. And I saw that my first step was really to make a composite card and start sending those out to agencies, working on my look, working on that clean model look, what people are looking for, that blank canvas. So really, the first part of it was just educating myself, because I made a lot of wrong moves, I feel, in the beginning. Things that really didn't ruin me, but it didn't benefit me either. It was just more like kind of a waste of time. So just educating myself, getting online and reading, okay, I have to put this together. I have to go to open calls. So the first thing I did was go to an open call. I went to a Wilhelmina open call. It was my first time ever. I had no idea what to expect besides what I had read online. And it didn't go that great. I am not signed to Wilhelmina today, guys. I won't lie, it did not go that great, but it was a big learning lesson. And for the rest of my modeling days, I took what I learned with me there, which is basically to be yourself and to learn from everybody around you.
It's funny you said that, because throughout all the interviews that I've been doing, be it a designer, a model, a pageant queen, everybody has that common denominator.
Yes.
And it's like what I always say, it's like adversities are nothing but lessons that teach us that, what we need to get to that next step. And that learning and educating yourself is very valuable. We actually have a pamphlet that you can get that for free. You can just go ahead and subscribe to our channel, DM us, send us a message, and we will send you a free brochure on how to get into the world of modeling, pageantry, and what to do. Because the reason that you're here basically is to share your knowledge and empower other people so they can get ahead without making the same mistakes that we all made. Even though making a mistake, it's a way to climbing into. So within the modeling agency, what do you think has been like the worst mistake that you made, and what did you learn from it?
I would say probably the worst mistake I ever made was not being myself, was trying to be somebody else. Because when I walked into my interview trying to be somebody else, I came off very standoffish. I don't think that it looked like it would be a pleasure to work with me. I don't think that I looked particularly interesting. I don't think I sounded particularly interesting. And I think that really hurt me. I think it made me very forgettable. And it's one thing that you can't be in this industry is forgettable.
Yeah, so basically it's being genuine.
Yes.
Be yourself. That was the last interview. Everything resonates. The same thing. You guys that are successful in the modeling industry, everybody says the same thing. So you got to learn from those people that have made it. So it's and what has been one of your biggest accomplishments, you would say?
My biggest accomplishments would be New York Fashion Week. I love New York Fashion Week. I love the high fashion of it all. It's the most high fashion you'll get in America if you're not going out of the country to model. And it's just a dream. Throughout the last couple of years, I've found people that I know. I stay in a model apartment when I go there, so it makes my means of traveling a lot easier. New York Fashion Week is probably my biggest
Yeah,
accomplishment
but
there.
you've made it all the way up to the top in some of the biggest fashion shows in New York, in the real New York Fashion Week. And what has been one of the biggest designers that you've modeled for, let's say, on the last two couple of New York Fashion Weeks that you've
Yeah.
been to?
So I did one of my biggest, well, my favorite as well. She's really big in the runway world. Is Giannina
Oh, of
Azar.
course,
I
yeah.
love Giannina. All her designs are beautiful. It's insanely hard to model for her, and as it should be because her garments are gorgeous. But Giannina is probably one of my most proudest designers I've walked for as well. I did a Mr. Triple X collaboration with Gucci while I walked on the runway for Art Hearts Fashion in September, for September Fashion Week, and that was definitely a high of my career. I
Cool.
felt
Well, I seen
off the
you
walls.
your Instagram, and I seen all your social media, and it's always a joy to see the girl next door here
Thank
from
you.
the 305 making it to such a big level and being a role model
Thank
to
you.
inspire other young girls. Now, how do you go about preparing to, like, let's say a casting for a fashion show or for one of the catalogs that you've
Yeah.
done?
So physically, I try to make myself look as clean and clear cut as possible so that they can get really what they're looking for. They're not looking for your ability to be beautiful, they're looking for your ability to look interesting. And they can't find your market if they don't know what you look like. So, having a bunch of makeup on, doing my hair too much, most agents will steer away from that. So, I try to get as natural beauty as possible, put my hair in those rollers the night before so they come out looking as naturally and beautiful as possible. Just a little bit of makeup, taking care of my nails, taking care of everything. They look at these things. And of course, depending on the time of the year, you have to make sure that your digitals and your composite card are up to date. It's really important that your pictures are what you look like in the moment. It doesn't matter if you cut your hair an inch, you gained 2 pounds, you lost 2 pounds. If you look any kind of different, your photos have to be accurate so that they understand what you look like when you're photographed.
Yeah, it brings me to the attention. Oftentimes, a lot of the girls ask me, "But why do I need to do two, three photo shoots? I mean, I just did a photo shoot, with this photographer, with you, like 2 months ago." And I says, "You've changed.
You've changed.
You're not
Yeah.
the same person.
Well, it's
You're not."
important.
Yeah. And then when they look at you, just like you change your hair color. You grew half an inch. You gained 15 pounds. Little changes
Yeah.
like that it makes a difference. Sometimes we often change even our style,
Exactly.
and then they need to really be able to see what you look like now so they can place you accordingly. So
Exactly.
that is very, very important. So what advice would you give to a young girl that is trying to break into the modeling industry locally, to the young newcomers, for them to be, fairly successful at it?
Don't be scared. Don't be scared. I promise you, everybody in line with you, from the front to the back, is scared. Don't be scared. Chase what you want. There are so many times that because I doubted myself, I didn't attend a casting, or I didn't attend another open call or some sort of thing that I should have gone to that would have helped my career. And just because I doubted myself, because I was worried about the competition that I might see there and how that might make me feel about myself, I steered away from a lot of things. And I think that also really hurt me. I think I would have gone farther a lot quicker if I had taken these opportunities instead of trudging them to the side because I wasn't there yet. But if you're getting these opportunities, you're there yet. That's where you are, and you need to take them. Don't be scared. Be you.
No, determination, being yourself. I guess those are key ingredients in any business, and especially in modeling. That there's so much, and there's like that. I think that some of the big things that I seen face is just a lot of this pageant girls that they go into, modeling. They're like, oh, it's not working. And, well, pageants do not work in modeling. Modeling may work in pageant, but pageant, it's definitely not going to work into modeling. So, what is like your routine, that right before a fashion show? From the moment you get up, how did you get into the mode, into the mood, and how did you prepare that day of the fashion show to be successful?
Well, the night before and the morning of, I pamper myself. I take what the girls love to call an everything shower. So I scrub myself down. I wash my hair 5 times. Shave. I sit there for 50 minutes with some candles and just let myself soak. And I let myself really relax, because being tense on the runway is probably one of the worst things you can do. It is really noticeable when you're tense on the runway. You kind of just look like a stick box walking. It has happened to me. This is not me trying to make fun of anybody. I'm talking about myself. So I try to just really relax myself, get in the mood, listen to music that I like to listen to, just really get in that girly, like, I am hot and I'm gonna go do this tomorrow, and I can't wait to see what kind of outfit they give me. I can't wait to get fitted. I can't wait to do this. I can't wait to do that. And once I get there, and there's a lot of sitting around, I'm not gonna lie. When you're behind the stage, sometimes I'm sitting for a couple hours before they even touch me. Yeah, because get there at 3, but you'll be waiting for 4 hours. So yeah, I sit there and I talk to the girls, and we all just talk about how excited we are, and really also talking to my peers and the other models helps me a lot, because I'm like, okay, we're all in this together. Nobody's out for each other. We already all got the job, so I don't have to worry about anybody being mean to me, and we can all just talk and have a great time and be like, oh my god, I love your outfit. Oh my god, I love your outfit. And that really takes all my nerves away. Is once I get there, being in the moment with all the other girls, or sometimes guys, and talking about what we're doing, talking about what we're wearing, talking to the designer, it shakes all those nerves off. And once I talk to all those people and I see all of our vibes, once I get on that runway, I take that with me, and it shows.
Yeah, it's funny that you said that, because in our coaching system, one of the things that we teach is, like, sometimes people are like, Baron, what are you doing? It's like I prepare them. I prepare them for what if. Sometimes they're walking and I'll throw something on the runway. What if your heel breaks? What are you going to do?
Yeah.
You have to take off the other one, say, hey, here, and just keep on going. What if this happens? So if you prepare for the worst and then you going out and do your best, I think that, I think that is definitely what you're doing. You're getting into the zone. You're getting into preparing yourself into it. So as far as the catalogs, have you done any catalogs that and which one has been the best one that you've worked with?
Most of my photo shoots aren't so catalog,
More like
per se.
editorial?
Yes, more like editorial. I do get a lot of my work during Fashion Week, because all designers will be in the same place at the same time, and they've seen you walk the runway and they're like, hey, by the way, I have a photo shoot scheduled this week, because we're all here at the same time. So we'll do something like that, and then they'll use that for their brand. And that's kind of how I collaborate with the designers. It's such a digital world today as well. It's just, now it's less, we're going to publish this, and more, we're going to put this online.
Right.
And
yeah, they're going to publish it, but they're going to publish it digitally.
Yeah, they're going to publish it digitally. It's not going to be a paperback or, and probably some of the best photo shoots I've ever done have been with you. He's my favorite, guys.
We get creative. We get creative.
Yes, he's my favorite, and so is everybody else, because whenever I go to an agency, I show them your photos, and every time, who took this? Who took this? Baron took this.
Old school lighting. That's what it's all about. Old school lighting. And you know what? Talking about digital, something that is a new word, kind of like in the market, and oftentimes the girls don't realize, like, when they say, well, it's like, show me your digitals, and like, what are you talking about digitals? I mean, I know what they are and I know how to do them. I just prepared 4 girls for the Miami Swim Week with some digitals for them. So explain to them what digitals are for a modeling agency.
So digitals are basically your digital comp card, and you have to have updated digitals to send to these companies. So if you go online, if you go on any big modeling agency or can find, IMG, Wilhelmina, Next Models, whoever, everybody you can name, there's always a submission box there. That submission box, they're going to ask you for your digitals, which is going to be a headshot, a 3/4 shot, a full body shot, and a half body shot, and side profile. So these things, they do need to be able to see your look. It's not only just for agencies as well. When I go to castings, some castings will be virtual because a lot of productions travel around the world for Fashion Week. So they'll stop in New York, then they'll go to Milan, then they'll go to California, or whoever's in season that year. So a lot of those castings will be virtually as well. And again, they will ask you for the front headshot, side shot, 3/4 angle, all of that. And that's why it's really, really important that you have some nice, clean, clear digitals and updated digitals.
And digitals, just so you know, are totally different than having your portfolio and your composite, because those digitals are like plain Jane,
Plain.
so to speak,
Yes.
no makeup or minimal makeup. Most girls do like a pair of jeans and like a white t-shirt or black t-shirt, and it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's it. Just you give your move, and we normally do them digital on photos, and we do a little video also, so they can have, and you can say, hey, hi, my name's Maria, I'm 29, and whatever, and their height, that kind of a thing. And then you have your full composite and portfolio, where basically that shows more of the professional work that you have done with 1, 2, or 3 photographers, and then it shows how easy to work with you're not, or are, to work with. Now, tell me about, or give some tips about that. I think that you were talking about it earlier, like the projection of how, when you go into a casting, how does it, affect them, or what would be the attitude that you will have when presenting yourself to a director or an agency?
Yeah, so the best advice that I could give starting models is turn that nervousness into bubbly excitement, and walk in and greet everybody and put your hand out. Hi, my name is Janelle. It is so nice to meet you. I'm so happy to be here, and thank you so much for your time. They will let you know the process of casting, and you just want to be memorable, and you want to be happy, and you want to make sure that you are polite. And once you get past that first casting step where you are shaking hands, you are gladly getting to know these people, not just because they're the casting directors, but naturally, they will have some liking towards you because they see that you are genuine. Once you get past that, once you get working, it also is important to stay a good person. I will say, you don't want to get casted and be backstage complaining about your outfit, complaining about the shoes you have to wear. It happens so often.
Well,
It happens so often.
I laugh because the other day I was doing a catalog for a swimsuit photo shoot, and the girl had to do all 12 all 12 swimsuits, and then
It
all of a
happens.
sudden she started going through the box picking, and I says, sweetheart, you're gonna do all of them, so just pick what. Oh no, I want to see what. And it says it's not about what you want, and don't take this the wrong way, but you're nothing but a hanger. It's
It is
like
true,
it's
though.
not
It's our
it's not.
job.
Yeah, I know it is.
Yeah.
But she was like picking to see, you're gonna wear all of them, so it's just pick one, go, and all that. It got to the point that the third time, for as much as I defended her, the client came in and says, Baron, pay her and get her off set. Just get me another model. We'll do it. I don't like the vibe. Don't like this. She's just stressing me with all of this. And you know what? I'm not going to recommend her, because if that happened with that client, it could happen with the other one. I'm the one that's losing face.
Exactly.
And the same thing. You think that client's going to use her again? No,
Absolutely not.
So and then networking. The other thing that I found with you models is that you guys just blend in, and you guys just like talk to, you network with a lot of people and things like that. And then all of a sudden, by networking with all these people, you may not get that one job, but you met someone, and from meeting that one person and talking to each other about that, then all of a sudden, boom, they call you up and say, hey, it's like, I have this job, are you interested in doing this? And all of a sudden, you guys network and you exchange even castings and things like that.
No, and it's true. And in the same way, it can kill your career just as fast if you are being complicated. When you are a model getting paid to be on a set, you do not have the luxury of choosing your outfit. I thought that would be common sense to a lot of people, but it is not. Designers will not work with you again if you do that. It's a little bit disrespectful. And of course, I don't want to wear that. I just hired you, and now you're telling me you don't want to wear my outfit that I'm paying you to wear. Okay. And not only that, but if you're doing runway, I do a lot of runway. All those designers go out together. At the end of the
They
day,
talk.
they
They
talk.
talk. And it's funny that you said that because it's like the same thing happens in pageant.
Yes.
You know, they have this girl that goes on out to a pageant. She didn't win the crown, and she goes bashing and trashing the director and trashing the system. And guess what? It's gonna get back to the director,
Yeah.
and then the directors get together, even though they have their competition, and then they talk, and guess what? You're not going to be welcome to the next one, or they're going to say, oh, watch out for that girl. And it's, I'm glad that you're here, because I'm always preaching that, but it's refreshing to hear it from a top professional model like yourself, telling them the truth about modeling.
No, it's true. You'll go into your first gig and you do something like that, and you will never be rehired, unfortunately. But it's the truth. It is a job. You can't walk into any office and be like, oh, thank you for giving me this job. I hate my office. You need to give me an office in a different location.
Yeah, for real.
And I understand there is the aspect of, oh, I don't feel my greatest in this, but it's just something that you have to take when you're a model.
Make it work.
You have to make it work. People talk a lot about of insecurity, but I will say a lot of the girls are so nice, so great. And everybody gets an outfit or two they don't like every year. I've gotten some outfits that I don't like. Smile and nod, and don't post it on your Instagram. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
But do your job. Do your job.
Yeah.
It's a really big problem. I see it every time I go do a fashion week. Doesn't matter if it's in Miami, New York, California. Every time I see it.
And how is it living with all this bunch of girls and in the same apartment?
Oh my God,
how
guys!
fun or stressful is it?
It's the same amount of fun and stressful. I will say. So some of the girls that stay in the apartment with me, I've known since the beginning of my modeling career, so about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, and we're best buddies because we started modeling at around the same time. We have a lot of the same interests. And then, of course, there's the girls who are hired who you've either never met yet or you don't know that very well. And let me just tell you, I've seen some crazy things. Like when we were for New York Fashion Week, the most full the apartment will get, there were 10 girls staying there.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like too much of a cramped living space. Like there is space for us, but it is 10 girls in one apartment, and things can get a little bit feisty. So that's another thing that I will say, guys. Please don't take other people's stuff. Please don't move other people's stuff. If you're in a model apartment, clean after yourselves. That is literally the biggest issue in model apartments ever, is there will be 10 people staying and only one person creating the entire mess. But the 9 other people don't want to clean it because it's not their mess. So the mess will just keep like piling on and on and on. And don't even get me started about like their vices. We'll leave it at that.
Right. I can understand, and I can relate. Been there, done that. And but it's like, hey, I always tell, it's like whatever you do, it's you. Just like, it's on you. No, thank you.
It's on you.
I'm good.
But also, like, don't leave it out on the table, guys.
Right. For real. And it happens. But I think that a lot of, in your case, you're blessed with an amazing, hospitable, fun personality. Ever since I met you, you're kind. You're beyond professional. You're very caring. You're tidy as far as everything that you do. The one thing that I love about you that unfortunately many models don't have is that you're always on time or early. And that, to me, I value that a lot, because that means that you value my time, and that's it's really, really good for us. So I take this time to make sure that you hit that button, subscribe to our channel, because there's going to be a lot of surprises and giveaway. And I want to go ahead and thank our sponsor, Mirta de Perales, that's got an amazing international hair care product. So thank you, Mirta de Perales, once again for sponsoring our podcast. And thinking of Janelle in the future, what does Janelle Futures hold?
Wow, that's a loaded question, I'm not gonna lie. I do a lot right now besides modeling. I talk about my modeling career online, of course, because it's the more online aspect of what I do, but I am a business student. I go to university, and I feel like my career can go many, many ways. My next step and what I want for the next couple years to be is international modeling. With school and stuff, I can leave Miami and I'll leave for a week for Fashion Week, but I can't make Milan, or I can't make Paris. I just don't have the time.
Not right now.
Yeah, not right now. But I'm going to finish, by the end of this year, I'll be done with my degree. So I'll have much more time, and I really want to focus on getting into those international markets. Because as you guys know, I am very tall. I am 5'10", and I'm very skinny, and I feel like they would love me over there. So I'm just talking myself
They're definitely
going
to love you with your personality, your
Thank
style,
you.
and exotic face. And that's one thing that I can actually vouch for Janelle, how dedicated she has been for her schooling, which is something that I value. You know, she's told me, and often she's told me, hey, no, Baron, I can't make it because I have that. And you know what? I don't care. I'll wait for her because, you know, the schooling is very valuable, her education, and who knows, she may be the next modeling agency director for it and have her business going that way, representing other models, since she already knows her business international. So that's one of the things. And what would be the two biggest advices that you can give to that one girl that wants to really make it to the top locally, that wants to be like you, doing, you know, the New York fashion, you're doing Chicago, doing LA, doing all the Miami Swim Week and Miami Week and things like that, and being modeling for international designers? What would be the advice, the main advice that you can give those girls?
So my first one, and probably one of the biggest ones, a lot of people say modeling is a dog-eat-dog world. Do not treat it that way. Because any model that you meet at any casting, whether it's your first casting or your 50th one, any model that you meet that you were nice to can send you on Instagram, hey, I found this casting, we should go together. And now you're notified of this thing that you didn't know about, and you never know, that could be the casting that gets you a contract. That could be the casting that gets you on the runway for your first time. So do not treat this industry like a dog-eat-dog world. Network. There's a lot of girls that I've met that will be standoffish and cold, and they don't make it very far. They don't make it very far.
No, they don't, because they close their own doors.
Exactly. So that would probably be my first biggest tip to you. And my second would just to be maintaining personal hygiene. I don't really mean it in a way like don't be dirty, but before, I was never really the type of person to have a skincare routine. I kind of just like washed my face with a Dove bar soap and called it a day. But I started moisturizing, you know, my face. I started taking much better care of my skin, and it really showed in all my photos. Everybody, oh, your skin is so clear. And I don't really do much. I just use CeraVe, guys. Not sponsored, but not sponsored. I just use CeraVe, but that was like a really big, I feel like you feel like you can't tell, but you can tell when someone takes really good care of their skin and moisturizes and takes really good care of their hair. Like, my hair is super long. I oil it. I do a bunch of stuff to it. And almost every time I go to an agency, I have an agent pulling at my hair and running their fingers through it to make sure that there's no tracks.
Extension.
Yeah. Yeah. But they love it because it's something that people don't walk in with every day. What? Because I take care of my hair. And again, it's not every day that a girl walks in and it's like not even one blackhead. It's all clear skin. So just take really good care of yourself and don't treat this industry like a dog-eat-dog world. Take care of each other and you will make it very far.
That's good to know. So here we are at the end of this podcast, but make sure that you subscribe and listen to all of the professional tips that an international model such as Janelle has given you. Dedication, being yourself, be genuine, take care of yourself, have a routine. Don't, think that modeling is like a dog-eat-dog type of thing, because it's not. One of the biggest success stories that I've heard of, and is continuously happening, is networking. Mm-hmm. Because as we talked before, you meet somebody that can refer you to the casting, and that casting is going to take you to the top. So stay tuned for the next updates on the Fashion Icon Podcast, featuring the latest trends in modeling, fashion, and pageantry. And we're going to be featuring some more of those designers. So make sure you subscribe. See you next one.
Bye.
The perfect eye cream to diminish all your lines and your eye bags. The collagen elastin 3-in-1 Mitad de Perales.